Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the news briefing this Wednesday, November 26th. Once Thanksgiving is over, and of course that's tomorrow, the real holiday season gets underway. It gets into full swing. That means a lot of shopping in person and online, and you have to think about how will you safeguard deliveries that you may be ordering online. Well, we're going to get some holiday safety tips. We have our colleague BridgeAnne from the sheriff's office, who looks like she is getting ready to appear, and she's fixing the flag. And BridgeAnne, we're really glad that you're here to share some tips with us for the holidays.
Hello, I'm glad to share the holiday tips with you for this holiday season. I know Black Friday is approaching, and that will be a busy shopping day this week. And let's get started on sharing those tips. I'm BridgeAnne. I'm the crime prevention specialist at Monterey County Sheriff's Office. So today, I know those porch pirates were a big concern for you. So today we're going to be discussing some holiday safety tips by, opening a package. So today we have the 25 stockings of safety. So if we open the package that was sent to the sheriff's office, we have these 25 tips right here. I will share this document with you later. But these shopping tips are very vital and important to ensure a safe holiday and shopping season. So today we will discuss several categories within our 25 stockings of safety. So one of those major issues that people might encounter is our package protection safety. So how do we ensure that our packages are kept safe over the holiday season? So we want to utilize these traffic tracking notifications that come with our packages. We want to schedule deliveries, and also it always helps to require a signature. So if you're present when these deliveries arrive, or you know when they're coming, that's a very good way to help prevent theft. You could also check with your local post office about hold for pickup services and ensure valuable packages. So if you have something very important to you or valuable that you might be having shipped to your residence, you might just want to have the post office hold that package for pickup at a later time. We also have the option these days, which is really incredible, to have packages delivered to a secure location. So many of those large online retailers have their own lockers or hubs where you can come pick up a package directly from one of those safe, secure lockers. Or you could always utilize a PO box if any package theft is a big concern within your community. And regarding package theft, we also have the Penal Code 530.5 subsection E, and that is one of the penal codes that focuses on mail theft itself. I looked at the crime data, and within the past year, just this past year, we had about 22 cases related to mail theft for some type of incident. It could vary, but somehow that charge was incorporated into various cases. All right, shopping safety tips. So shopping safety is highly important. So shopping safety, you need to stay alert in crowded areas, busy shopping centers. Keep your purses, wallets, and backpacks zipped just to avoid pickpocketing, and utilize perhaps your front pockets just so you have more awareness of what's in your pockets and it's less easy for thieves to potentially grab any valuable items such as your phone or wallet. Avoid shopping alone, especially during the evening hours. You guys might be out there on Black Friday awaiting long lines, and you do have those potential for crowds. So just be aware of your surroundings, have that situational awareness, and report any suspicious behavior to maybe local store security or local law enforcement if it is something that escalates to that degree. Also keep in mind travel and vehicle safety. So remember to park in well-lit areas, have your keys ready. That one is so important so you can access your vehicle quicker and you don't have to stay outside and increase those chances of being a potential victim of a crime. Also, conceal your valuables, keep those gifts and items that you purchase out of sight, perhaps leave them in your trunk just to try to dissuade thieves so there isn't something obviously there that someone might want to steal. You can also, for travel plans, inform a trusted family member, a friend, a neighbor about the dates you'll be traveling. And along with traveling on those dates, let them know when you are planning on returning. And that way, someone could keep an eye on your house, someone you trust, just to make sure there's no suspicious activity occurring around your house. And also avoid posting your avoid posting your travel plans on social media. Lots of people like to get excited and say, I'm going out on this certain date, or I'm traveling to this location. And although it's fun to do that, it might not be the wisest decision, because if there are potential thieves or criminals who might be looking at your suspicious activity, you might want to just be aware that that is a public forum and you don't want to necessarily broadcast that information out when your house will be empty. Also, for home and personal safety, remember to use motion sensor lights and surveillance cameras. That's just an extra added security measure to deter thieves and any burglaries or robberies that could potentially happen. Or if you do engage in the unfortunate circumstance of a robbery or burglary occurring, at least you have a surveillance camera that might help authorities. Remember to always lock your doors and windows, gates, garages, even when you're home, just as a deterrent, just as an extra safety precaution and a safety measure during the holidays. And for in-home decorations, remember to keep walkways clear of any decorations, especially for people who might be more elderly or senior citizens. Those cords, if they're in a walkway, they could cause a falling hazard. So just be careful, because you don't want to trip over any decorations. So just be mindful when you're decorating your home as well. And then for scam awareness and online safety, that's a really big one this year. So just remember to watch for any fraudulent shipping notices via email or text messages. These often occur with suspicious links within them, but they look very real. So definitely be aware of these phishing emails. Use two-factor authentication on your email logins. So you might have already seen that on some of the email accounts that you use. Remember to monitor bank accounts, set up fraud alerts. So that's a really easy way to get immediately notified if someone may have used your card or your PIN number without your knowledge, if it had somehow been stolen by someone. Also, a really important one is to be aware of gift card scams. These have occurred within Monterey County in the past, especially targeting our senior citizens. You might remember in August of last year, there was a quite rather large phone and online scam. And it primarily targeted senior citizens. And those senior citizens lost a collective $97,000 through those scams. So just remember that these things do affect real people within our county. So just be aware that those gift card scams do occur. So when you do purchase gift cards, be mindful of any physical tampering when you purchase those gift cards in the store. Also remember not to submit information to gift cards, because it will never act like that, or to some online forum. So just be mindful of those type of things. So tampered gift cards, scammers will request you to potentially pay via gift card, but any reputable law enforcement agency, any other agencies such as utility companies, they will not ask you to pay in gift cards. So just be aware and be mindful of that. Also, I know Hitchcock Road Animal Services was on the agenda, so they'll be talking more thoroughly about pet safety. But just remember to keep holiday foods and sweets away from pets that are inedible for their digestive systems, and secure any decorations that pets may chew, because they might chew cords, or you've all seen those cat videos or animal videos where if you have a holiday tree in your house, the ornaments get broken. So just always remember to keep all glass shards away and clean in the event any ornaments do break within your home. And additionally, for fire safety, never leave your candles unattended, especially when you're not home, when you're leaving the house. Just remember to turn off and unplug all decorations. It is a colder season right now, so we do often use space heaters. So remember not to leave those plugged in or on when you leave the home, as they could overheat. Also, lots of us may like to use a lot of decorations. So just remember that those decorations, when you use those extension cords, don't plug a lot of extension cords into one particular area. As if you overcrowd an adapter, it could definitely cause overheating. And if you do have any additional ongoing concerns within your community for the holidays, you can always submit a crime tip at our website, mcso.countymonterey.gov, and click on the Submit a Crime Tip tab, and you can do that anonymously. Just be mindful that this is not an official report, but it is just a tip of things that might occur in your community, and you can read through those instructions more thoroughly. And remember, if you do have an emergency, always call 911.
BridgeAnne, thank you so much. You had a lot of tips there. You opened up a big box and you got through them really quickly. From what you've gathered, what do you think is the number one concern for people this holiday season in terms of safety? Is it the porch pirates? Is it the scams? What are you hearing?
I think it really depends on your personal shopping habits. If you are an online shopper, from my personal experience, my sister, she often does a lot of online shopping. So she utilizes that safety measure at a PO box to collect her packages just for that extra measure of security. So those are really good things to keep in mind. For any type of mail theft, like I said, that Penal Code 530.5 subsection E, that just is one of those things that could be charged if you do criminal activity related to mail theft. So just be mindful of that and be mindful of your surroundings. We're going to have a lot of holiday parades this year, various festivities throughout Monterey County. The Salinas Holiday Parade is coming up, and our sheriff's office plans on being there in support of that parade in the community. So be mindful of your surroundings, because just be situationally aware in the event anything happens.
And really great to remind people about the gift card scam. Nobody's going to ask you to pay a bill with a gift card. And reminding people that there really was an actual loss, and people here in our county actually lost a lot of money to a scam.
And then, like that scam in August of 2024 of last year, that was a lot of money. $97,000 collectively was lost. And within that incident, the scammers were actually showing up to people's homes, posing as officials, law enforcement officials, or the Federal Trade Commissioner. So these officials won't come and ask you for money. I know we also have the issue of people who often try to impersonate law enforcement, and they will actually research and obtain the legitimate names of our deputies and act as those people every so often, and act like they're a real deputy asking to collect money. And that is something the sheriff's office will never do. A deputy is not going to randomly call you and say, hey, I need money. So just be mindful of that, because people do impersonate law enforcement and utilize deputies' real names. So when you look them up, you might think it's legitimate, but it isn't.
Thank you so much for all those fantastic tips. And we hope everybody chooses the one that works best for them.
Yes, I agree. And happy holidays to you all. And in addition, we are hosting our Deputy Deer Toy Drive for another year. So you might spot our Toys for Tots donation boxes around the county. So if you can help a child in need this year, we'd be much appreciative of that. And we'll announce more information on social media soon.
It's a great program. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate it. Well, we've just heard a lot about what's good and bad for humans, but what about pets and the holiday? What may be good for us is not necessarily good for pets, from food to decorations. And that is why we have Cindy Burnham with Hitchcock Road Animal Services here to give us some pet holiday safety tips. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, thank you. And thank you, BridgeAnne, for the good transition over. Um, I'm going to share my screen for a few slides. So yes, holidays and pets. There's my contact information. It'll also be on the back of this. Um, so I wanted to share some reminders. I know, we hear a lot about this on the holidays, but holidays are stressful for us humans, and they can be equally as stressed for our pets. So just some reminders, especially about the food, toxic foods like fatty or spicy foods, chocolate, alcohol. Never give your pet turkey or chicken bones as much as they give you those sad eyes. I have Cocker Spaniels, so the sad eyes are plentiful in my house. Um, those can create some severe stomach upsets and an expensive trip to the vet. And if it's over the holidays, it's probably the emergency vet. So you just want to be mindful of not giving them too much, even if you want to celebrate. Keep the kitchen clean and trash out of reach. For those who have, external or trash cans that sit outside your cupboards or something, make sure that the spicy, fatty chocolate and stuff that's in the trash doesn't get into their mouths. So, and then one thing I think people don't put enough emphasis on is the impact that holiday guests and the stress and anxiety it can cause for pets. If you've got guests over and they're not people that your pets are familiar with, they are strangers. And, expecting your pets to react to them, even if they're family, can cause a lot of stress and anxiety for your pets. We see an increase in bites, usually around the holidays, because your pets don't know your guests. And so give them time away. Notice if they're being stressed, if there's a lot of panting or licking of the mouth, and just kind of just this look of I'm not okay. Don't force them to be friendly with people. Let them go chill in a bedroom. And just not setting them up to fail. It is a lot, and I think people don't appreciate that you know our family and stuff, we understand the relationships, but to our pets, they're strangers. If you're traveling, most people are probably traveling right now and not listening, but traveling is also stressful to your pets. So if they are coming with you, make sure you have safe places for them. Make sure your ID is current with a cell phone number. The first thing people are going to do is look for a tag with a cell phone, and if make sure it's a cell phone that somebody will answer. If you haven't updated your microchip already, that's important. And if your pet does become lost during the holidays, whether you're here or traveling somewhere, start looking immediately at your local shelter, in your local neighborhoods, go to the social media in the area where you're at. The more people that know your pet is missing are more eyes that can help look out for them. And then BridgeAnne mentioned things like ornaments and things like that, like extension cords. Um, as we get into the Christmas season and trees are decorated and all the fun stuff, just yeah, make sure that they're out of reach from your pets. If you have a pet that's a chewer, then you're gonna have to get really creative. We're working through a new kitten in our house, and so our Christmas tree is probably not gonna look the same as it has with old cats. So just keep those things in mind, but don't underestimate the stress and anxiety that these holidays cause for our pets. For animal services, we are closed Thursday and Friday for the holiday. However, we have staff and volunteers here every single day of the year, cleaning, feeding, medicating, walking dogs. So that all happens. It's just we're not open to the public. We will be open on Saturday from 10 to 5 for licensing. If your pet is here and you need to reclaim it, please come in on Saturday. And stray animal drop off should you find a pet and you're not able to locate the owners. We are closed normally Sundays and Mondays. And then our field services, which is our animal control team, is closed Thursday and Friday for the holiday, and then normal hours of being closed to Saturday and Sunday. So they'll be reopening at 8 a.m. on Monday. And wanted to remind everybody that through the end of the year, all of our cat and dog adoption fees are reduced by 50%. So our dog adoption fee is $151 and our cat adoption fee is $98. This is a great deal. It includes the spay and neuter, a microchip, the initial core vaccines, along with we provide some behavior and training resources. And all of our adoptable animals can be found at hitchcockroodanimals.org. And I'm inviting everybody to an upcoming meet and greet. We have a new exciting opportunity to help shelter animals at Hitchcock Road. We have Friends of Hitchcock Road that is having a meet and greet on Saturday, December 6th from 4 to 6. You can come find out what this new nonprofit will is for and how it's going to help Hitchcock Road animals. So we're very excited about that. And that is, oh, I guess that's delayed. There's my contact information if anybody has any follow-ups.
Cindy, thank you so much for walking through that, especially the part about pets don't always like your people. Just like people don't always like some people. You know, it's okay for your pet not to like your friend, and that's what the back room is for with a closed door. And
Exactly.
sometimes you just need permission to hear people say it's okay, you know, that not everybody, you know, gets along, as it were.
Yes, it's the holidays. They love you guys. And if the guests make them uncomfortable, then it's okay to say, you know, we're just going to go turn the TV on in the bedroom and here's a Chewy and you don't have to partake because we don't want to set them up to fail. And unfortunately, we do see a lot of that. So they're the ones that get a pass for those, you know, those holiday guests that you're not keen on, right?
Correct. So, and what you talked about stress, remind people our pets can really pick up on our stress. And that's where you might want to think for them. If it gets a little overwhelming, you know, you don't want to set them up to fail and have something happen. And, you know, pets will pick up on what is worrying us.
Absolutely. We know we project that we're stressed. They can sense that our breathing changes or just our something's not right with mom, and that causes them stress. And some dogs, especially, will relate to, well, when these people come in my house, mom gets stressed, so maybe I need to protect mom. So, you know, just it's identifying those. And if you know, those that really, you know, are in tune with their animal's behavior, they're like, she's not acting right, or, you know, the dog's not acting right or something, that's a sign they're stressed and maybe it's time for a timeout or maybe a long walk, or taking them for a long walk before guest comes over can be helpful too to kind of work out some of that energy. So it's just being aware. Um, BridgeAnne mentioned, excuse me, just being aware of your surroundings, and if it doesn't make sense, you know, kind of go with that, and but just not setting them up to fail so that everybody can have an enjoyable holiday.
And congratulations on the creation of Friends for Hitchcock Road Animal Services. I hope everyone will go out to your meet and greet and find out. I know it's been a long time coming and it's been in the works for quite a while. And so just congratulations.
Thank you. We're very excited.
Right. And now on to our last topic. We have been hearing a lot lately about support for food banks and food insecurity projects. If you are a young adult and are interested in this as well as environmental work, there is a paid internship program that you can take part in. We're very pleased to have Gabriel Pena. He's with Monterey County Works, and he's going to tell us about the Green Cadre. Hi, Gabriel.
Hi. Yeah, thank you guys. So yeah, my name is Gabriel. I'm filling in actually for Michael Artalejo. He's currently out right now. But yeah, so the Cadre program is a program that myself and Michael kind of run with each other. And yeah, it's a paid internship for young adults. Right now, the age is 18 to 30 years old. The amount of work we do is a lot. We work with with community partners around the whole Monterey County, whether it's food bank, local gardens. We work with state parks, the city of Monterey, and yeah, we do a bunch of work. As of this group that we have right now, excuse me, the food insecurity side of our program, they recently packaged over 3,000 food parcels in November, which is estimated to feed around 12,000 community members. We've done food distributions in Salinas, Seaside, Castroville, and Chular. Actually, this morning, our group did one in Pajaro. So that was a good one. They actually had the pozole kits and they gave those out and a bunch of people came out. At some of the distribution sites, there had been an increase in community members attending, so that's always nice to see. And we have seen approximately 140 individuals receive food parcels. But however, in the last 2 weeks, in Seaside, Salinas, and Chular, we have had an increased attendance of upward of like 250 local community members come out and receive food. So it's been great. This program actually is going to end next month in about 3 more weeks. It ends on December 19th. We're going to have a graduation or a ceremony send off for the participants who are currently enrolled in our program. It started in August, I believe August 12th, August 19th, around that time. So yeah, so their time is almost done with us. And then after the program ends, we help them build their resumes. They gain job experience. They get certifications such as OSHA 10, HAZWOPER, CPR, first aid, and ServSafe. And yeah, so then that program's about to end. So we actually have an upcoming cohort that's going to start on January 12th. So I believe the orientation dates are for the new one are going to come up December 9th through December 11th. I believe the application is already up and running on our website on MontereyCountyWorks.com, so people can apply. And yeah, and that's basically what the Green Cadre program is and what we've been doing.
Gabriel, thank you so much for describing some of the work, because I think people look at these internship programs and they wonder, I may like this work or I may be very interested in this work, but how will that really help people? And it sounds like the people who are signing up for the Green Cadre program really are getting hands-on experience in an area of work that they really love.
Right. And that's what it's really all about. They get the job experience. A lot of the people who do work in this program, they've expressed an experience that they might have been food insecure when they were growing up. So they love going to the food banks and packaging all the food and then actually having to give the food out. And they love seeing that part. So yeah.
And so, Gabriel, for someone who goes through the Green Cadre program, first of all, it's a paid internship, which is just a fantastic opportunity. You talked about some certificates that they're going to get. That's no small thing, because you'd have to pay to get those certificates. Given that experience and getting those certificates, what can people then launch into as a career from this program?
Right. Well, a lot of it, me and Michael always say, you get what you put in into the program. So a career could also start after the program or during it as well. We've had people who we work with the city of Monterey, and they do a lot of landscaping and stuff like that. The bosses from the city of Monterey see our workers and their work ethic, and they say, I want to hire this guy. When the program's done, I would love for him to be on our team. We've had that happen twice. We've had a participant go into the construction field, and because he had his OSHA 10, he was able to start at a $2 higher amount pay than everyone else who he was working with. And we've had participants who have gotten hired from the state parks. We work with state parks, so we've had at least 4 or 5 people who work with the state parks now, which is an awesome job because they take out a lot of invasive plant species, plant native ones, and they get to work at awesome places like Big Sur and Point Lobos and stuff like that.
Like being on vacation and getting paid, right?
Yep, their beach is their backyard. Yeah.
So the end result of this is, while people can feel good about participating in a program that may really fit their values, something that they really love to do, there's actually an end game. It's not just a dead end, an internship that's just going to end saying, oh, I had this really great experience. They really are able to take this experience and move into a career of some type.
100%. And that's what the whole program is really all about, is finding a long-term employment once we're done here.
Gabriel, thank you so much for sharing with us. Congratulations on the graduates of the Green Cadre that are going out, and really best of luck with your new group. And we always hear great things, and we hope we'll have you back and tell us more about what they've done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. Our next briefing is next week, and we'll see you then.